It's been weeks since there's been a protest for racial injustice in Terre Haute, but today, Indiana State University athletes took to the streets. News 10's Richard Solomon was at the March for Justice. He has more on why these athletes are choosing to raise their voices.
For some, the March for Equality is just beginning.
We want justice! We want justice! We want justice!
Indiana State fall athletes marching for social injustice. Leading the charge, Indiana State University football players Makai Ware, Mike Thomas, and Dante Hendricks.
I'm a black man and I have to deal with injustice. We're talking about police brutality and overall just black oppression. I can make a stand right now, make a change right now. Maybe my kids and grandkids don't have to deal with that.
This protest is happening several weeks after the original ones following the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Many behind me say this conversation is far from over. The three players wanted to have a march back in June, but the timing wasn't right. Ware says they wanted the entire team to be a part of this. They were able to reach other athletes after countless hours of Zoom calls, discussing topics like Juneteenth and Black Lives Matter. Mike Thomas says this is unity.
I think it had to happen now in order to show that the solution is perseverance. We ought to hate injustice because we recognize injustice and we ought to fight against it.
The group marched from the Vigo County Courthouse to ISU's Charles E. Brown African American Cultural Center. Coaches and school leaders spoke along the way.
These young men are more than athletes. They're young African Americans whose lives matter.
For Dante Hendricks, it's bigger than sports.
We hear you cheer for us on the football field, but when we're in the community and we don't have our uniform on, we need you to cheer for us in the community. If you just come together and love each other, we can make such a big difference in this world.
In Terre Haute, Richard Solomon, News 10.
Organizers say they plan to hold a seminar with ISU's campus police next week.